Mic checker. Chicka. It's not son, baby. Yeah. One time, baby. What? For your mind, baby. Yeah. We gon' shine, baby. And what we do, we gon' grind, baby. Yeah. What? And this is another episode, of Swingers After Dark. And this is your host, Nah son, baby. Here we go. I want to talk about the bitch assness from the males. I'm not gonna say men, because men know better. They know not to do some fuck shit, because it's not in them. It's not in their DNA to do some fuck shit. You feel me? But I want to talk about the males, because a male is the primitive version of a man. Very primitive, not developed, arrested development, underdeveloped, all types of lack of development. And I see this happen. I see this, going on. It happens a lot on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever the case may be. And a lot of dudes, they use revenge porn. They use revenge porn to get back at the chicks who they done smash. And it's fucked up because, the women fucked you because they trusted you. They trusted that you would not do some whole shit within y'all fucking around. But you want to get in your feelings when this chick no longer wants to deal with you. You want to get emotional and try to expose this chick when she trusted you with her body and with her privacy. And that's not manly at all. I won't even say that's feminine, because I know women who won't even do shit like that. I know women who are solid. They're 10 toes down, because a lot of women, they don't want their business on the street anyway. Like, you really got to be a messy broad to broadcast, no pun intended, your sex life in front of everybody. Like me personally, I don't want people to know who I fuck. People in the swing lifestyle, they don't know who I smash. Why not, son? Because it's not any of their business. What happens in the room stays in the room unless we're having an orgy. And even then, I'm too busy being knee deep in the pussy to the point where I don't give a fuck what the next man or chick is doing. I'm trying to get my nut and making sure that the chick who I'm fucking is getting hers. You feel me? I'm not paying attention to anybody. I'm just paying attention to my penis inside the juju, inside of a JJ, inside them pink walls. You feel me? I'm so busy like slow stroking it, backstroking it, giving her grown man strokes. You feel me? Slapping them cheeks. You feel me? Talking to her, talking shit while I'm hitting it from the back, in the front, from the side, in all positions, because I leave no stones unturned. But fuck all that. But what happens in the bedroom or at the party stays where you left it, or where you found it, rather. You feel me? And a lot of dudes, they have problems. They have issues. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of dudes nowadays, regardless of the age, because the old heads, they be on the fuck shit too. But a lot of dudes have issues that women should not subscribe to. And you have a lot of dudes with mommy issues, and they have entitlement issues. And because of that, they don't know how to handle rejection. And because they have mommy issues and entitlement issues, they project their mommy issues onto the women who they're dealing with. Because either they were coddled by their mothers, they were spoiled, rotten by their mothers, or they were neglected by their mothers. If they were spoiled, rotten by their mothers, then they can't take no for an answer. They act like a bitch when they don't get their way. They want to throw tantrums. They want to cuss you out, expose you, tell everybody what you're doing on the side, even though you don't want anybody to know what you're doing. You could be a porn star. But who's to say that you want everybody, especially your family, know what you're doing? If you're doing something strange for some change, who's to say that you want the whole world to know, even though they may stumble across one of your videos or your pictures, but you don't want somebody to make it easy for them. You understand me? But that's the era where we're living in. You have a lot of dudes, they have no type of respect for the situation, for the women who they're dealing with, whether she's a jump off, a one night stand, or whatever the case may be. Hell, they don't even have respect for themselves, because a lot of dudes, they will throw themselves under the bus for likes and reactions and attention, because attention is currency for a lot of dudes who don't have shit going for themselves. Attention is currency. You feel me? And because they're miserable, they want to use all that energy to get that attention. You understand where I'm coming from? And you know, it's like, that's why a lot of chicks, that's why I don't, not for nothing, man. Ladies and fellas, but you know, for the ladies who are listening, this could pertain to the fellas too. But I want to talk to the ladies, you know. It's like you gotta vet the dude who you're fucking, who you decide to deal with. Because you have a lot of males who are not men. Because we're currently in the weakest generation of males. You have males who have no code. You have males who, they don't hold themselves accountable. They have accountability issues. They want to blame everybody else instead of themselves as to why they're not where they're supposed to be in life, or where they think where they're supposed to be in life. They will point the finger instead of looking at themselves in the mirror to tell themselves, bruh, I got to get my shit together. Instead of normalizing getting your shit together and stepping up your game, they would rather point the finger instead of looking from within to say where they went wrong. And that's what growth and development is about. It's about correcting your wrongs to make right. Because none of us are perfect. Like me, I'm not perfect. I got some shit to me too. But I know that. So therefore, I know what I should work on. I know what I should improve on. It's no different from a basketball player. If he's struggling to dribble with his left, he should practice dribbling with his left. He should practice making layups from his weak side with the wrong hand. You know, it's about strengthening that weakness. It's about, you know, your weakness become your strength because you know what you should work on. But a lot of people, they lack self-awareness to where they become oblivious to their flaws. You understand me? And they never change. They never change. And I stay from dudes. I stay away from dudes who don't want to hold themselves accountable. They want to blame everybody else because they fucked up. But not for nothing, 99.99999% of the time, it's not even other people. You know, the fact is that people are their own worst enemy. People are in their own way. And because they're in their own way, they cannot see the forest from the trees. You understand me? They're so narcissistic to the point where they feel like, and I'm talking about men. I'm back on the men when I say this. A lot of dudes, they feel like somebody owes them something. And nobody owes you shit. The only person who owes you something is your father. And hopefully you had a father around to instill some type of morals, values, and principles and your repertoire of character. You understand me? Because everything starts from home. And I could tell when a dude who was not raised around a strong male figure, even if the father wasn't around, you could tell that a lot of dudes did not get a lot of ass whoopings by their father or by a strong male figure growing up. You know, you could tell if a dude never got a foot up his ass based on how he moves, based on how he conducts himself. Now, I would say that, you know, I don't even know if I want to call them a bitch, because that's offensive to women who are 10 toes solid on the concrete. You feel me? But you just have a lot of bugged out dudes, they're living in their second childhood. They have arrested development. They're 15 going on 42. They're still in a childlike state. So where they could do no wrong. They could do no wrong. And they get emotional when somebody calls them out on their shit. You understand me? It's like people they place you know what they do? You have a lot of dudes, because they think they ain't shit. They would rather put you on a pedestal and criticize you and critique you and live through you. It's like a God worship. They put you on a pedestal to the point where, they become vested in your life. They become invested in your success in your life and your rise to the top, to the point where they become male groupies. And it's unbecoming of males to become a groupie of another man. It's like you could admire another man's grind, another man's wherewithal, another man's fortitude, another man's drive. You could admire that, but to put him on a pedestal above you, that's some weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? And they live vicariously through other men to the point where I think it's very homoerotic. You know what I'm saying? It's very homoerotic that they live through other men instead of investing in themselves. And that's why I say that Swingers After Dark podcast is not a fanboy channel. I don't have fans because fan is short for fanatic. I don't have any fanatics on my page. You understand me? I have listeners. I have supporters. But what I don't have and what I don't want to have is a fucking fan. Because a fan is really a hater in reverse. Or a fan is an unright hater. Because people are so emotionally into what you're doing to the point where their feelings about you is whimsical. You feel me? And I stay away from emotional people who have an emotional investment in whatever I'm doing. And those type of people are toxic. Those type of people, one minute they say, yo man, you the greatest of this. And then they're like, yo, fuck you motherfuckers if you say the wrong thing or if you say something that they don't agree with. You understand me? And that's what I don't want in my life. It's bad enough that I gotta deal with emotions from a woman. I don't want to deal with that shit from another dude. Because men, we supposed to be logical. We supposed to be the positive to the negative of a woman. The yin and the yang. You understand me? And going back to how dudes handle social media and they don't know how to handle rejection. Sometimes, or even a lot of times, rejection could step up your game. It can show you what you need to improve on. But people are so blinded by their sense of entitlement that they think they can never be in the wrong. They think that they shit don't stink. They think they're perfect. And they will always be in the bottom rung of society because they don't want to take responsibilities of their inactions. You understand me? So they would rather live through others. They would rather become fanboys and potential haters instead of working on themselves, instead of focusing on themselves, instead of looking at themselves in the mirror. When they look in the mirror, they see you. They see the person who they idolize. That's why I idolize no man. I don't idolize celebrities, public figures, famous people, whatever the case may be. I don't idolize the average Joe. I don't even idolize myself. Because people could consume themselves from the outside in. People could implode. Fuck's exploding. Like exploding from and outwardly. Exploding is when you like blow up outwardly. People could implode from within. And then you wonder why they become depressed. And then you wonder why, they become suicidal. And this is not me talking down on people who go through shit, because I go through my rainy days as well. I'm talking about people who don't want to take matters into their own hand as far as controlling their own destiny. I am not talking about people who are legit suffering from mental health issues because they're in an environment that they can't escape from. I am not in any way, shape, or form shitting on people who are going through their trials and tribulations. I am talking about people who cut their nose to spite their face, particularly men who want to blame everybody instead of looking from within, instead of looking at that inner glow, instead of looking at themselves as the master. You know what I'm saying? The master of their fate, the captain of their ship. But they want somebody else to steer the ship. And then when that ship capsizes on some Titanic shit, they want to blame the next person when they could have manned the ship themselves. They could have done a better job at manning the ship, at steering the ship to where they want to go in life. You should never let somebody control your destiny, control the journey of where you want to go. Because you don't own shit. You don't even own yourself. Because you're always relying on somebody. You have this proverbial umbilical cord who's attached to somebody else to the point where you become clingy. And then when somebody want to cut you off, you want to talk this gangster shit. You want to talk this murder, kill shit when you're not about that life. And if you are about that life, then you deserve any punishment that you get. Whether it's you in the cemetery, you get locked up, whether it's the penitentiary or the cemetery. You understand me? And it's so unbecoming of males. It's so unbecoming of males, especially dealing with women. You have a lot of males, they put women on a pedestal because they don't see themselves in a positive light. They don't value themselves. So just like how they idolize celebrities and famous people, a lot of dudes idolize women. To the point where it becomes an obsession. It becomes an obsession. There's a big difference from not wanting to lose somebody. Because you see that somebody, that particular person, male, female, whatever the case may be, you don't want to lose that person because that person adds value into your life. You recognize the importance of that person, not because you're putting that person on a pedestal or not because you idolize that person. It's because you recognize the greatness of that person and the value that they bring into your life. You don't want to lose them. You fear losing them. You understand me? But people pervert that, they pervert that relationship to where, they feel like, and women are famous for doing this. They want to cry on the phone and threaten to kill themselves because some dude had left them. It's like, fuck that motherfucker. Yo, listen. And the immortal words of my homeboy, Glorious Hunter, rest in peace. He told me, he gave me a jewel one day. He dropped a jewel on me. Like it was this one time, this chick, she curved me. When I say curve, we had set up a date, to go out. And she did not show up. She did not show up and she curved me. She left me hanging. Literally. So she left me hanging. She stood me up. So my homie was like, yo, my man Glorious, he was like, yo, when people shit on you, they're doing you a favor. You dodged the bullet. Because a lot of people ain't shit. A lot of people ain't shit to begin with. So when people stand you up, and even when they reject you, they're probably doing you a favor. There's a blessing in every lesson. You don't know what people are going through in their life. They're probably doing you a favor by not fucking with you because they don't have their own shit together. Their life is in shambles. So they probably don't want you in the mix of their fuckery. And there's no reason. Like, you have a lot of dudes who want to slut shame women. They want to, post their nudes when shit goes left. It's like, that's weak. That's weak. Like, if she doesn't want to deal with you, then get with the next broad. A man with options is a beautiful thing. If you're a halfway decent looking dude who got the gift of gab and you have pizzazz and swag and you have a little bit of money in your pockets, why are you stressing over somebody who does not want you? Because I love those who love me. I am not stressing over somebody who doesn't give a fuck about me. What type of shit is that? Like, I'm boo-hooing. I'm soaking up my sheets and my pillows. I'm giving myself a headache because I'm crying over a chick who moved on, who clearly doesn't want to be with me. Now, I don't want to keep a chick who doesn't want to be kept. Real talk. I love those who love me. I see the situation for what it is. And, like I said, what happens in the room stays in the room. What happens in the inbox stays in the inbox. What happens in the DM stays in the DM. I don't tell people the conversations that I have with women. It's between me and her. You feel me? She confided in me, and I should not break that trust because she saw the greatness in me. She saw the God within when she spoke to me. So why should I be devilish by breaking that trust when she put me in a positive light to begin with? You understand me? And it's all about walking away from the situation without being vindictive. That's a measurement of a man, because you're not sweating the small stuff. You're not crying over spilled milk because you know that you could pour yourself another glass. You understand me? It's like, whatever, I could get myself another glass. Like, why am I crying over this situation? Because for every problem, there's a solution. There's a solution for every problem. So why am I boo-hooing about a chick and I want to leak nudes because she didn't want to get with me? I wasn't her cup of Henny. She didn't want to be with me anymore. Or she doesn't find me attractive to begin with. That's a prerogative. But you have a lot of dudes, they want to expose chicks. Like I've seen, instances where dudes, they blow up the spot. You have chicks who are doing like homemade porn, and you have dudes in the comments posting certain chicks' government names and shit like that. I'm like, why are you putting this chick on blast? Why are you posting her government name in a picture where you see her fucking? In a video, rather. You see her fucking on the video, and you want to tell everybody in the world that you know this chick's name. And you want to put her on blast because she might have shitted on you. And rightfully so, because if she shitted on you, then it's justified based on how you're acting. Because a lot of things in life is based on how you react. To test your mettle, to test what type of person you are, to test your character. And leaking nudes. It's not manly. It's not masculine to leak nudes. Because nobody knows who I fuck. Nobody knows who I'm fucking. And that's not me being secretive. That's my fucking privacy. It's not anybody's business who I'm sticking my dick in. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm fucking with a chick, she'll never have to worry about me, leaking her nudes or using revenge porn to get her back. You know what? I'm a type of person, I'm so petty. Like, I'm not petty in a vindictive way. I call it Good Samaritan petty. Like I would leave her on my friends list so she could see my success. I'm petty in that way. Like, she could see my grind. And so she could see that no matter what you did, I don't give a fuck, because I'm going to stay on my shit anyway. I'm going to stay on my grind. Nah, but if she does some despicable things, if she does something very despicable, like steal from me and shit like that, and spread like an ill rumor about me, she's getting blocked. Or she disrespects me, then she's getting blocked. No ands, if, buts, ors about it. If she's a diabolical chick and she's fucking despicable to the point where I have no respect for her, she doesn't have the privilege to see my success. But for the most part, fellas, revenge porn and leaking news because this chick doesn't want to deal with you anymore and you have entitlement issues and mommy issues, that's not the way to go. You better than that. And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Son Baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com, and check out my ebook, Fuck. Yes, you heard right, fuck. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any question or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. So here we go. What? So here we go. And I'm out.